Hello. All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Diana Nathanson. I am the director of the ESL in Kingsville, Maryland, which is just north of Baltimore. And my husband is a soccer fanatic. And so in the beginning of the year, he began to hear a lot about ministries that are doing things because I'm going to share our slide with you. So today we're going to talk about soccer, ESL, and Jesus. So welcome as we learn how to turn the Soccer World Cup 2026 into a ministry opportunity for your ESL students and their families with ideas that we can use in our communities, in our churches, in our classrooms, and even in our homes, depending on what level you are interested in being a part of it. So this summer, from June 11th to July 19th, 2026, the largest sporting event in the world is being hosted by the US, Mexico, and Canada, the FIFA World Cup 2026. An estimated 5.8 billion, that's not million, that's billion people are expected to watch the World Cup. And with up to 20 million visitors heading into the 11 US host cities. So here we are, we're ESL teachers, directors, we do ESL. So we deal a lot with internationals. And this summer, many internationals will be coming into our country and will be here and coming to watch the World Cup. But also, we have all around us all these internationals that many of them, in some way, in some form, love soccer, watch soccer, play soccer, have friends and family that are crazy fans. And we just thought it was such a great opportunity for us to take this amazing world event and use it for ESL, reaching people, and also, of course, using it to reach people for Jesus because it's an amazing opportunity. So, as I said, we have an incredible opportunity to use this World Cup as another connection point with the internationals in our community. Many Christian groups and ministries are gearing up to use the World Cup to share the gospel of Christ to a lost world. We are ESL people. I'm an ESL director. I don't have time to reinvent the wheel. I want to find out what's happening and using what is already out there, take opportunities that we can use to reach our students and their families and other internationals that we're going to meet this summer to make connections with them through this World Cup. So what's awesome is that my husband, who I said is a great soccer fan, and he has connected with some ministries that are doing some really awesome things for the World Cup. And so we just thought it would be an opportunity to let you all know about different ways that you could incorporate it into your ESL. We're going to talk about the global vision, kind of like the big vision. And then we're going to take it all the way down. And Claudia is going to actually give a lesson plan that you can use in your ESL program to teach about the World Cup in English, and also use that as another connection point. But there's all sorts of ways that we can use this. So it's to get the bigger picture and ask God how he can use this during this event. It may be that you don't want to do a lot of stuff. It may be you have a small church and you don't have a lot of volunteers, but maybe you can just use it to connect with students in your classroom. But maybe you just have some friends who would like to host a party. You could do a watch party. You could also, maybe you have a church that's a little bigger and wants to do something and get involved. So there's activities that you can do that we can introduce into our churches to invite internationals in for watch parties or soccer camps. There's all sorts of different things that we can do. So there's opportunities that abound to be involved. in our communities, through our churches, in our classrooms, and in our homes. So that's kind of the introduction. We have this huge, amazing event, and we'd like to take opportunities and learn a little bit about how we could use this to really just make connections within our communities. So one of the first ministry, I wanted to talk about the U.S. host cities. So in the United States, there will be 11 cities that are hosting World Cup matches. This is so the World Cup, there are 48 teams. It's the biggest World Cup ever. There'll be over 100, I believe 104 games over this month period, the 6-week period. And these are the major cities that are hosting them. So if you live in or close to one of these cities, there's ways to get involved with ministries that are doing things in the cities themselves. And my husband, we are close to Philadelphia. So my husband has connected up with FCA, which is Fellowship of Christian Athletes, as well as Crew and this Beyond the Cup, which I'm going to show you next. And they have been going up each month. They go up and they pray. The first month they went up and they actually prayed in the stadium where there's going to be World Cup matches. And then last time they went to the park where they're going to have a giant fan fest. So they've been praying over the city as opportunities to looking for God to open doors so that we can use this amazing event to preach the gospel to different people. So if you're in one of these cities or you're close to one of these cities, you may have other opportunities that those of us who are a little further away might not be able to have. So just keep that in mind as we go into the next slide and we talk about the different ministries and what they're doing. So one of the ministries is, like I said, it's through Crew or Campus Crusade. It used to be Campus Crusade for Christ. Now it's Crew. It's a giant ministry that deals a lot with college campuses, but it's also gone into all sorts of different ministry opportunities. So Crew has joined with FCA, which is Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and a few other major ministries. And they've created this Victory Beyond the Cup. And so what I want to do right now is I want to show you just a little clip of what the introduction is for that. So give me just 1 minute. Whoops, wait, stop. Okay, give me a minute. So I got to stop and share, and then I go back and share.
While Diana's getting that set up, I'll tell you, I am going to send you like several links that she'll show you. I'll send those in the chat as well, if that makes it a little easier. And then afterwards, I'm going to email everyone their presentations. All right, back to you, Diana. Sorry.
Okay, good. All right. So here's I'm going to start with this video.
Oh, Diana, I don't think you shared your audio.
Okay, so, sorry. It's always something. I can hear it. Wait, I can hear it on mine, so it's not. Hold on. Share. Okay, share sound. Share that. Share. All right, let's try this.
Hi, I'm Heather Reddy, Executive Director of Victory Beyond the Cup. And in a few short months, billions of people from around the world will gather around their television to watch the world's largest sporting event, the World Cup. This moment provides an opportunity for us to come together, and we don't want to miss it. What if we didn't just watch, but we shared? And the amazing thing is we don't have to have all the answers. All we have to do is invite people into our home, our table, our heart. Because sometimes the most powerful faith conversations don't happen in a church building. They happen right in our living room. And this global moment provides an opportunity for us to bring connection and hope to our friends and neighbors. Because that's what this is about. It is about loving our neighbors. Victory Beyond the Cup equips pastors and hosts with a free, simple kit to make meaningful conversations feel natural and easy. So download or order your free kit today, invite a few people over, and be a part of something that lasts beyond the final whistle. Because one gathering, one conversation may mean more than we ever realize.
Okay. So hold on one second. Let me get out of this. Okay, so okay, there it goes. So that was so great. I love that video because I feel like that is what we do with ESL, right? We're always looking for connections. We're always looking for ways to make these connections with our students. So this is an opportunity that we have. We can use something like Victory Through the Cup, Beyond the Cup. We can use Ambassadors Football, which we'll talk about too, as ways to involve our churches and our communities and ourselves in as part of this giant event. So I'm also going to share with you. Let me see if I can get this on without. Oh, I need to. Sorry, hold on a second. I had this down. Stop share. Just a minute. Come on. Sorry, guys. I really worked on this all morning. No, that's not it. Okay, give me a minute. There it goes. Okay. Okay, now I can share. Okay, sorry. So this is the website for Victory Beyond the Cup. Okay, and it just talks about turning a global game into a gathering that matters. So it gives us opportunities or ideas on how to use this as an opportunity to get into our international. So it says that turns the world's most watched sporting event into a moment that matters. As you see down here, it says get your free host kit. I'm going to show you in a minute what the host kit consists of, and you can use it in your ESL. You could use it as a watch party for your own home. You could do it for your church. The great thing is that it says here, we all have a role to play together. And what I love about this particular one is it has opportunities for all different people. So you could do it for individuals. So I could host a party in my home, a watch party in my home, or with my ESL students. For church leaders, if you think that your church might be interested in using this as an opportunity to evangelize more than just the internationals in your ESL, this is an opportunity. And also for city champions, what we talked about, if you are close to or in a city that is hosting games, they're doing big events that all of those might apply to you. And the main thing we want to do today is just pray about this and see what God might have for you to do, you personally, and then you in your ESL programs and maybe in your churches to see where God might take it. Anyway, so I wanted to go up. I wanted to just show you real quick the host kit that I have. So this host kit was really cool. So you can sign up for the host kit. It's free. They'll actually send you a physical copy. I believe in May, they're going to send that out, but they also send it all digitally. And there's all these different things that come in that host kit. So there's best practices for hospitality, conversation guide for hosting a watch party, hosting checklist. I'm a checklist person. That made me happy. It just like filled all my boxes. An invitation flyer to watch the party, key player guide for for hosting, I'm sorry, prayer for hosting, soccer bingo, World Cup bracket, and this World Cup Nations recipe ebook. Okay, so this was interesting. I opened this up. I just saw this today because I hadn't had a chance to look at it. And this is like your manual for the World Cup. It goes in, it tells you everything, all these facts about the World Cup. It goes and it tells you the mission, Victory Beyond the Cup. But as you go down, you just look at all these things they have. They have tournaments, they have love God, love people, pray, prepare, and play. What is culture? Culture crossing tips. It goes into all the nations. It tells you a little bit about each nation. So this might be something awesome to bring in if you just look up the nation of maybe you have a student who loves soccer and is from Mexico and you want to find out more about Mexico. You can use this. It's awesome. And then I believe that there's there's just all this information. I didn't download it. It's 152 pages long. I'm hoping they send us the book. But it's so fun just to do and to go through. And as Claudia talks and teaches about how to use this as a ESL lesson, this is a great resource. This is something you could use because even if you go down, it talks about, what is soccer? How do you play it? What are the penalties? It comes down, it says what you might hear, different rules. And it was really fun. I was just looking through it, glancing through it, and I thought this is really an interesting, would be a really great resource for us and our students. So, and it goes through and it goes down through every single country that is involved in the World Cup. It's going to go through all these different countries. So that's 48 different countries. So that'll be a lot of fun, something that you can look at and if you want. Okay. So going back to, so that's one resource. That is Victory Beyond the Cup, turn the world's most watched sporting event into a moment that matters. That's, like I said, one possible ministry. Another ministry is one that Claudia is going to talk a little bit about because this is something her and her husband, this is a ministry that they do. And this has really been a lot of fun too, to watch and to go through what they're doing because they do football camps and all over the United States and world, I believe. And they use football or soccer as a means to reach people for Jesus. So I'm going to show you. Hold on a second. Let me go back to the. Let me go up there and we're going to do. Hold on. Nope, wrong one. All right. So. Am I sharing? Yes, I am. Okay, good. All right. So this is Ambassadors Football, and it's just ambassadorsfootball.org. If you go in, actually, you go in and it takes you to the front. It gives you a countdown to the World Cup, and it talks about the different things that Ambassador Football does. But if you go down here, right underneath it, it says join the Golden Ticket Challenge. And you can click on that. And it'll take you to the Golden Ticket, which is 6 sessions of football fun and a unique opportunity for your church to engage children in the Word of God during the World Cup. So this is just another resource that you can use. You have your countdown again. You have explaining a little bit about what the gold ticket is. And I'm going to show you this little video.
Every 4 years, the world stops and
sharing?
watches.
Sorry.
For 38 days this summer, the World Cup will light up screens across the world and stadiums in the US, Canada, and Mexico. An estimated 6 billion fans, children, families, whole communities will follow the same beautiful game. Absolutely nothing brings the world together like football. And whenever the world gathers around football, the church has an incredible opportunity to connect and share the hope of Jesus. This World Cup, we want to help your church walk across that bridge, to love your neighbours well and to share Christ with families who might never normally step inside a church. We want to equip your church with a simple and fun football programme for the Saturdays during the World Cup. Or you might want to use this in your existing children's ministry programmes, kids clubs or Sunday school. we've developed a specific World Cup resource, an animated football parable, and the story of the Good Samaritan that offers a creative and compelling way for children and families to encounter Jesus. It's called The Golden Ticket and asks one big question: who is my neighbor? In the football.
Okay, so that's another resource, and you can go on and watch the rest of it, and it tells the whole story of what the who is my neighbor and this golden ticket. So once again, it's just an opportunity to let's see, where did my share go? It's just another opportunity to a ministry that you can go into, you can check it out, you can look at possible ways that you could use it in your ESL programs, in your churches. And those are just two ministries. And I'm sure that there are many more. And some of you might be involved. You might already know about things that are happening around you. And so it's just an opportunity. It's something that we wanted to introduce to you, give you the opportunity to ask questions about or to make connections with people who maybe are involved more. I believe in the chat, she put Victory Beyond the Cup and also the, yes, Ambassador Football. So both of those links, you can just go in and study more about it if you want. And yeah, just use it as an opportunity to reach into our communities and see where we can make connections with more international students. So I'm done with my part, which is basically the global large vision. And then Claudia, I think, is going to join us and give us some more details and ways that we can use it in our ESL programs.
Very good. Hello, everyone. My name is Claudia Soares. I am originally from Brazil. I was born and raised there. I am in US as a missionary. We work with Ambassadors Football. My husband is the Latin American responsible. He's responsible for Latin America. And we use soccer as a platform to share the gospel. And I am doing the same thing, but with ESL. So it's a beautiful opportunity. And I'm so honored to be here sharing with you a little bit about soccer, but as a strategy, as a way to show Jesus for our students. It's an opportunity to use what the whole world you'll be looking for, right? Diana was just explaining that is the biggest in the whole world. It's like it is gigantic, go beyond what we can we used to with American football, the finals. We know we have always big numbers down there, but soccer, we involve much and much more, a large community. And it's an opportunity to say, hey, Jesus is so interested in your life, right? We can use that because they will be talking about. Let me try to share my screen here. So I always joke that I'm praying and asking the Lord to help with translation. I know my accent sometimes can be very hard to understand. So keep your notes, because if you have a question, you can ask. We'll be more than happy to explain. And whatever you don't understand, please ask us out. I'm so happy to be here. This is a little bit about our families. This picture is very old. It's when we started with Ambassadors, my husband and our boys, Daniel and Samuel. But of course, they grew up. Praise the Lord for that. They are not that little anymore. And this is also an old picture. Daniel is now in Ohio State College, finishing his first year. I can't imagine. It was faster. Samuel is 17, and we are here in Ohio, Northeast Ohio. We live, Ambassador's headquarters is here in Northeast Ohio, in Twinsburg. So this is a little bit about us. and now I'm serving with M&A and Alliance ESL ministry. So 2026 is the most gigantic, different World Cup, even for us who grow up watching and learning. We are learning because something are different. They are incorporating new things like 3 countries hosting. This is very different for us. Lots other competitions there, some records that as a Brazilian, we don't want to see it broken, but yeah, you'll be very different. Lots and lots of conversation. What we are going to cover today, I am assuming that you are all ESL and you are being on the workshop. So I'm going through the lesson plan. You know, the original lesson plan that we have. So objective, greeting, vocabs and sentence, pronunciation, Bible time, and CPA is the most fun part. If you are not familiar with that, just hang in there with me. And of course, take notes because we can talk. And yes, I'm going to cover the lesson plan. This is my major goal here for 45 minutes. I have to put my timer here because usually I like to talk. I don't know if you noticed, but I really like to talk. So I have to have a timer here telling me that my time is done. And my goal is cover for lesson plan, but also for our church, because we are talking about using an opportunity to share the gospel. We are talking about using when the whole world will be talking about this event, this gigantic event, and take advantage of that. So for your youth ministry, for your kids ministry, for your moms, elders, everybody can be involved as a church, and you can use some of those activities too with them. Okay? So the objective, what's my objective? I can't have only one because I don't know your students, right? I have to imagine when I'm planning this lesson, I have to imagine students who love soccer, but also students who don't like it. Students like ladies, Muslim ladies, that they are like, it's a guy's thing. Usually they have this reaction. So you have to have a conversation with your students and see see if they really enjoy it, the sports, and then you can go deep in those objectives. So my objective here will be very generalized, very, very gigantic. You're gonna take it, you cannot just copy and paste. You can adjust it for your classroom, for your students, or for your church. So we have our special, it's engage the students, right? Connecting soccer to English subject. This is our aim, but some goals include promote cultural awareness of participating nations and or host nations. We can have that cultural talking. And the tournament wall chart, I don't know if you can see here behind me. If your student is a soccer fanatic person, if they really enjoy soccer, they know this in their language, but they don't know how to say it in English. That's why you can buy those on Amazon, on Walmart. I know for sure. Soon we'll have this all over the place. I think Nancy sent us a picture from yesterday from Costco with those T-shirts. So everybody's starting to hit the economy for sure. So I am not allowed to, my budget is very limited with my husband because I develop a friendship with Amazon. I develop a friendship with Dollar Tree, because I really been there constantly, that they became my friends. And my husband is like, no, let's have some budget. So this is like $9.99. It's how I can tell him, no, honey, it's just $9.99. And he was like, okay, $9.99 is not $9.99, it's $12 because I have taxes and whatever. So this is my budget. I'm not buying expensive things, but they are colorful. They are our students' flag, and usually those are very important for our students. The wall chart to track scores it's very fun. This is something that if you cannot buy it, you can draw it. You can do with your students, and they will be more than happy to tell you how to do it. If they are fanatics, if they love it, if they really enjoy soccer, they can do it with you. And talking about budget, I don't know if your budget is big like this. This is $100, but I would tell my husband 9999 because it's less worry than $100. But anyway, I don't know. Maybe you can buy this one and put in front of your house and have those parties, or in front of your church and invite the community for a party for some specific games. So, and then we can promote the cultural awareness, right? But we can also promote a better understanding of the tournament structure in English. Again, your student, if they like soccer, they know the structure. You don't have to teach them soccer. Our goal is connect with English, right? They need to know how to say it in English. I know 32, I know the 16th, but I don't know how to say it. Greetings. I love the idea to have the national flags, stickers, because we can make just a time together, find your country and put a sticker there. Which section is your country competing, or maybe not, your country is not there. If it's not, which country you would be cheering for, right? Because if they love soccer, yes, they will be, yes, I want Brazil be the champion, or I want Spain or Portugal. They will have a team that they really love. So you can do that. You can have all those conversations. You can have also the bracket. So they came like a small like this. It's like a paper. You can do with your students, and they can guess, right? They can have those competition. You can have one is for a group, small groups, or even one for individual. If you are a small class, you can have partners, but they love to do that. Talking about materials and things that we can buy, I thought that this was so fun to have, and I lost mine. I thought I bought for you guys, but it's like a ring. It's a LED finger lights. It glows in the dark. So you can have storytelling. We know the CPA, right? That you can have one student with one, and it's, again, here I have a packet. It's very small. It's not that big. You can just put in your finger and you turn the light. You cannot see much because it's not dark here, but they can do all kind of in the wall, like in the picture, but needs to be in the dark, right? Here is not in the dark. And I don't know if I'm allowed to make it dark anyway. So it's fun, simple, cheaper, and they enjoy to have a story and telling what to do. Facing lines. You can have simple questions like, are you a sport fan? What type of sports you like to watch? Do you play any sports? Or more deeper, like, what does it mean to be a champion? Is your country participating in this World Cup? What do you know about the World Cup? If you feel like your students are not so into soccer, you can have a facing line activity. And again, I don't know if you are familiar with our training and all the workshop. If you know the activity, the facing line, we had a joke, like, imagine if you have students that I'm calling them little people, so students that really don't like soccer. So if you have those students, you have to watch out when you do a facing line with students like Latinos, like my people, that we really love soccer. We play soccer in our mom's belly. We don't have a skill to have debate and discussion about it. We are very aggressive. So I'm calling us like dinosaurs. So it's danger when you put little people in a facing line with dinosaurs. So be aware of it. Avoid that, because your student won't come back, because they don't understand that these dinosaurs don't bite. They just don't have the skills to talk as, like we don't have that training when we grow up in the school like we have here in US. It's a skill that we can teach our students. But be aware, they be very aggressive. If they are high level, you can have more high level conversation. Like who has the most titles? I can tell you Brazil. You can see the flag there, right? Who has the least? Who do you think will be the next champion? I'd love to have Brazil, but Neymar is not coming, so I don't know. Anyway, you can have those conversations and you see how your students will be engaged. If you notice that they are not soccer person, you can jump the situation, not have so deep vocabulary. You can have more cultural decisions. Your goal, your objective will be more cultural thing, not so for the sports. I hope you are understanding what I mean. And if not, please take a note. And also, you don't have to copy everything that I'm showing you because you have all those slides. These slides, you receive everything. So don't worry. Vocab and sentences. We are in this part of our lesson plan when you have to decide the vocabulary that we're going to use and the sentences that we're going to use with it. For that, I divided in my mind when I was planning in two, A and B. A will be like a low level and B a higher level. So the low level is the beginner students, you know, the intro book, maybe the low intermediate, like maybe level 2, book 2. I'm talking about neighbors to neighbors book. So the higher level will be the high intermediate students and advanced students. So I just divide that and look, it's different. It's a different vocab that you are having with a lower level students, right? You have like here the dribble, kick, striker, defender, maybe if they are a little bit higher. If they are very, very little, very lower level students, it'll be ball, pitch, stadium, ticket, golden boat. It'll be like very, very low level students. So you have to be aware. And like the shin guards, soccer kids, coach, those are very beginning students, right? Referee, soccer team, soccer ball, soccer bench, soccer player. So you'll be very low level students. If you have a higher students, you can have more deep if they are into soccer, right? They are interested to say how to say offside. They know what it is offside. You don't have to teach them. And they know they are used to arguing with all referees in the field. It's not offside. Come on. They know what it is, but they don't know how to call it in English. And they would love to learn how to scream at the scream, how to be louder with the referee in English. They will be very happy if you teach them how to say offside, forward, throwing, corner kick, penalty kick, goal kick. And also you'll be more deep on the other, more into the game. My computer is saying that you guys cannot hear me. Can you hear me? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it sounds fine.
Okay, thank you. It's not just the objects like ball, cleats, right? Stadium. It's more into the game. They want to know about the positions of the players, how to call that. So because they are higher level students, and then you can do that. And again, you don't have to know it. You can search it up. And I put here some of the key soccer terms that your higher students would like to know. And again, you don't have to memorize it. And I put here the answer for you. What means free kick? What means corner kick? What means yellow card? Your students know what means, but you can explain it better. So I put the clue here for you too, the definition there. Tournament structure terms also is something that your higher level student wants to know. How can I say group stage, knockout stage, so we understand that the student who likes soccer, they understand all the structure of the tournament, but we don't know how to say it in English. Third place playoff, finals, how can I say that? So you can work with that structured terms. And again, I put here all the answers for you, all the definitions for you. So once your students know the meaning, you just need to help them. About jargons, yes, those words, remember that we use that other people outside of our community don't understand. We have a believers jargons that we use as a believers, but also soccer jargons that people outside don't understand what you mean. So square ball, in some terms, I put here some options, and also I put some tactical and skill terms too, because if you have a higher student, again, if they are a beginner, if they are intermediate students, a low level, if they are intro book for neighbor to neighbor, you're not working on that, on those, right? These are suggestions for more high level students. Idioms also, we have some soccer idioms, right? Some expressions that maybe my culture doesn't mean the same thing, but it's so good to know here because we are living here, how to say those, what they mean, what mean to blow the whistle in someone. It's different. I don't have the same saying in my culture. So it's some fun thing, again, with a higher level. I know some of you are familiar with the breakingnewsenglish.com, and they have this coach, Carlo Ancelotti. It's a Brazilian national team coach, and they have all these article about him, about what he's doing, why he's not a Brazilian, and we can have a good debate and discussion with our students. He's not a Brazilian, why he's coaching them? This became a different thing through the years and other World Cups. Red card for football players who hide racism comments. Some soccer players, we're not talking about the fans, we're talking about in the field. Some soccer players are cover their mouth when they are saying racist comments with each other. So this article is talking about, should they get red card? It's a good conversation with our students, see their opinions. Again, this is an advanced student, right? When we are working with breakingnewsenglish.com, those articles, and then you figure it out, those vocabularies, what they need to know, then you get the sentence. We don't have to create those. Okay, that's why I'm suggesting these two on the same website. So moving to pronunciation. We are here, pronunciation. This end of our first part of our lesson plan. Look at that. Let's watch some football. That's not football, that's soccer. Yeah, because they are looking at TV World Cup. We have this conversation. It's a good opportunity because the World Cup is coming. And yes, why we don't call it soccer, why we call it soccer here in the US. And we have several articles talking and explaining about it if you have an advanced student. But here we are talking about pronunciation. It's good to teach them how to say it, because if they come from a country like me that we don't say soccer, I need to know that the first syllable is the one that I have to stress, right? You can work with me about the sounds breakdown. The S as a C, the O, the C, the two C's like a cat, and the neutral or like mother. So soccer, you can work with us. And of course, a world, it's a hard word to say. It's much practice. We need to practice it a lot. It's a harder word to say. Lots of repetition. Have to start with the W sound followed by a long, relaxed and then you can explain those with your, and you have to stress the second word. Remember, the structure of the language is different. So in my language, I'm not stressing the second word when I say World Cup. I'm stressing the first, and because I'm changing the place, I have to stress the second. So if you have a beginner students, it's just a simple conversation. If you have a more advanced students, you can go deep in that explanation. And common problem, make sure not say word instead of word, right? Not pronounce cup as a cap or coop, world coop, world cap. No. So those are very helpful talking when you are planning your lesson about pronunciation with your students. And yes, if they are very high level, you are not working with these simple words like soccer and World Cup, you can work with the those idioms, right? How to say it, what word to stress, which one go first. Moving to Bible time, hanging there. I just flipped the lesson plan. I'm the other side already. We can do it. So Bible time. You can have the Victory Beyond the Cup that Diana just showed us, right? The website, they are rich with lots and lots of suggestions. Ambassadors also, you can have the videos, you can have the Bible studies, you can order the books, you can have at your church, just a gathering in your church, and you can invite your students. Or you can have at your ministry, ESL ministry, and invite your church to join you. So either way, you can do lots with those resource. And I'm adding some suggestions for you. Prayer for the countries, prayer for safety, for logistics, for travel. All those athletes, they are traveling, right? Their families, sometimes they're not together. We can pray for that, right? Someone is going around my screen. I have a blue mark here. It's not me, so let me keep
I
going.
will see if I can figure out how to erase it.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I can't. Says that it's not me, so I can. Yes, you did it right. Thank you. So connecting with the Bible using players and or countries stories, some countries stories or some players stories that we can emphasize looking at the World Cup as a kingdom. How can I do that? How can I look to the World Cup as a kingdom? This event where players, they are acting as ambassadors. They are representing their countries in this competition, right? I can also emphasize team effort, acting as one body. I can talk with my students about mirroring the church because we are the church, right? We have to be it. It's not our building. It's not the walls. It's us. And we have a team effort. We can also emphasize faith over fear. We can rely on God rather than focusing on the opponent's strengths. And we can have lots and lots of conversation. Have several new countries that it's their first time participating in the tournament. And how in our daily basis we can face hard and others that are so strengths and opponents with God's faith. Right. The other, we can emphasize faith and overcoming giants. It's similar with those, right? We can use the stories, Goliath and David's victory over Goliath represents how smaller nations can overcome high-ranked teams through faith and tenacity. We can also emphasize faith and resilience. We have one suggestion is the Brazilian player Rodrigo. He quoted Isaiah 41:10. He was publicly talking about his struggling when he was overcoming after an injury. And the majority of the students saw it. We can bring to the classroom and we can have a conversation about it. We can use Josh, the book of Josh, chapter 1, verse 9, that tell us to not be afraid, right? And why I am afraid. I'm facing hard situations and we are humans, we do it. But why? What the Bible tell us? How can we emphasize using all the World Cup, everything that soccer is bringing to their minds and they are so familiar with it? And how can we connect with the Bible? right? Yes, I'm not afraid because I'm finding confidence in God's presence and power. It's not because I'm stronger. It's not because I have it all together. It's not because I know the solution. It's not because I have all the resource. It's because of my confidence in God's presence. He promised me that He'll be with me always, right? And in His power. So we have lots of opportunities to share it with our students during the soccer cup. So Bible time for you. We have lots and lots of ideas, and I hope you take advantage of this opportunity. I hope you really take advantage. Okay, moving on. CPAs, the last part of our lesson plan. We just have one more, but the most fun one, in my opinion, I really like the CPAs because it's that opportunity that we have to have fun with our students, right? And we always have these two questions. Are the students talking and having fun? And which visuals and props do I need, right? Before a CPA communication practice activity. It's not CPR. I hope you never have to do CPR with our students. So CPA, communication practice activities. We always have to think it's what I'm teaching. Are they students talking? They need to be talking, and are they having fun? They need to have fun because when they are laughing, they are learning, says Pastor Bruce Lyman. It's his mantra, and we believe on that. So memory game. Easy, just find the pictures of those flags and cut it. Simple prompt, simple material. We can use your own vocab cards, and you can have the country's name and flags. Don't do all of them because it's 48, so it'll be a lot. But several, you can find the pictures of flags that your students represent your students' country if they are there, or the countries that you know that they are cheating on for, that they really want to win. So you can pick some. Flies water, the funnest one, right? So the same words that you're using for the vocab: soccer ball, soccer team, soccer play for the beginning, for the intro book level, right? For book 1, soccer cleats or soccer boots. I don't know which area are you in. So stadium, and you can play fly swatter. Are the students talking? No, they're not. So I can ask them after hitting with the fly swatter. I hope so. This game, they can give me a sentence. Since they are low-level students, they will say a simple sentence. They say the soccer ball is colorful. They say the soccer player is faster. Or maybe they will say, I like the stadium, the soccer stadium. It'll be a simple sentence, but they will be talking. And yes, if it's a higher level, you are not asking to do a sentence simple, like for intro book, right? This will be more harder. It'll be a little bit harder. So after scoring the opening goal, the team decide to park the bus. So park the bus, this one. Oops, come back. This one. It's an expression, it's a jargon, right? They have to use those jargon in a sentence. What means parking the bus? If I tell you and you don't understand soccer, you really think that this is the picture. Why someone put a bus in the middle of the soccer field? It's an expression. That means all the defenders, they were there avoiding our team to score. You can like roll a dice, right? You can have this colorful one and fun one, or you can have also a simple one, like the normal dice. And remember my friends from Dollar Tree? So just put the numbers there, throw the dice. And if you have number 6, tries to stop the other team from scoring goals. Who is this one? So here I gave you all the answers because sometimes you don't know right? But you can have those activities. Your students throw the dice, and then they have to find the answer because you are working with that vocab. The captain, the coach, the defender, the goalkeeper. No, a striker. Oh, the referee. No, the referee cannot do that. He's not trying to stop. So your students will be able to talk between them, and it's fun to just run, throw the dice, and figure it out the answer. Okay. It's asking me to wait. Good. Next one. You can have those sentences in a small papers. You just cut those papers and have all those, and your students need to open, read it, and run to the wall. Can you see here the wall? So I try it to put here for you guys to see. So you have here, the answer is here on the wall in your class. So they have to open the little paper, read it, and find the match. They have to match those idioms, jargons, whatever you are teaching. This is not a intro book activity, right? This need to be more advanced students because lots of things to read. And also you can match, and I gave you the answer too. My favorite one, do you guys remember? I saw a zebra at the mall, or I saw a zebra at the party. So we can see a zebra at the soccer game, and it's so fun. Make them have lots and lots of conversation. If it's a beginning, I would just give them, you have to use these words, the coach, the defender, the goalkeeper, the referee. I would give them the words that we are studying in that vocab that day, and they have to create a story. If we have a higher level students, of course, the words will be different, and they have to go around twice or 3 times. Just make it harder, and they have to incorporate those idioms, those jargons, those positions in the field. And yeah, believe me, they will create fantastic stories. Find someone who is a fantastic CPA, right? If you have a lower level students, those need to be simple questions, right? You're going to prepare a grid with some questions and each containing on one of those above that I'm showing you. You ask your students, do you have a favorite team? If they say yes, write their name. So can name 3 players in the World Cup. If you say yes, you sign your name there, and the students have to find people for the 10 questions that they have to find. They have to find who can name the mascots, who watched the last World Cup final match. So those simple questions that the students will only answer yes or no, I did, I didn't. So simple. But if I have, actually, those are the official mascots. If you don't know, I'm keeping here in the slides for you too. And yes, they have names. I don't know how to pronounce that. I hope so you know it. But you can also Google it and discover how to pronounce their names. And they are representing the 3 countries. The red one is Canada, the green one is Mexican, and the blue one is, of course, US. But if I have a high level students, more advanced students, find someone who will be a different questions. I can use that debate oriented questions. I can ask why, not just yes, I did, or no, I didn't. So I can ask why. Agrees with the decision to have the FIFA World Cup final in the US? I don't. Why? Because maybe I'm a Mexican person and I would prefer to have the final in my country. Mexico is the only country that is hosting the World Cup for the 3rd time. So they would have a different opinion, right? And you can have those questions that you can ask why not, why yes. Plans to watch the matches on TV. Why? Oh, because when I'm watching a soccer match, I'm screaming a lot. So I'm so embarrassing. I need to watch by myself. It's a why, right? If you have an advanced students, they can have those conversations, not interbook level students. No. Prefer to watch the game at home with friends. Prefer to watch the game with on a giant screen in the street. Yes, some people would prefer to be in the home with my friends, the people that I know, because I don't feel embarrassed if I'm screaming because they know me already. But some people are brave enough to go out and be there on the street screaming. I don't know. I feel more strength when we're always screaming at the referee together because we don't agree with him. So it's fun to have those questions. Another activity for higher level, you can assign a country for each group or maybe partner to let them pick one. You can decide if they can pick their own country too. They love to show up their culture, right? I love to talk about Brazil. I'm sure your students for different countries, they love to explain to you things that they crave, that they miss, that they dream about it to see it again. So they can reach the country, research the country's flag, language, food, famous landmarks, create a representation to share. They can share with the other students. They can research the host nations and their unique customs, right? What's unique in Canada, in US, in Mexico. Have groups or partners write a newspaper report about a specific game score. Students who use the jargons and technical terms create a presentation to share. They have to incorporate the vocab that you are teaching them. Is how they can use. Debate and discussion. Again, please, where is my dinosaurs? Remember, if you have Latinos, if you have Africans in your that they love soccer, they are very aggressive when they are discussing, when they are debating. It's not, be ready for the higher pitch, for the high, you don't know what you're talking about. Not that I mean be disrespectful. It's how soccer do with us. Be ready. And we have a saying in Brazil that we don't debate religions and soccer. Yeah, it's how serious it can be. And also, okay, I'm joking about it, it's real, but also some cultures, it's very violent. So going to a stadium, I never been in a stadium in my country because the violence, it's very high. It's very dangerous, right? People can be very mad. If my team lost, they would kill each other. We have some rules from different matches. When those teams are very big, some fans need to leave 1 hour earlier because, and then we know the bus stations, the subway will be all clean, and then the other team fans can leave the stadium. Why? Because if they met in the station, the bus station, on the subway, we know next day newspaper, we don't have newspaper anymore, but when I grew up, we will have people, someone from that soccer team kill another one from that soccer team just because have the t-shirt. I know friends, like my husband, he was a soccer player, so he knew the drill. So he would have a soccer team t-shirt just there in the stadium, cheering for his team. The game is done, take your t-shirt, put it in your backpack, and go with a normal one for the bus station. So the violence, it's very high in different cities and countries. So when you have a facing line or a discussion or debate, be aware that you are promoting and you are teaching the new skill. And you can say, hey, we have a bell here. I don't know what strategy you're going to use, but we have a bell here. You have to wait your time. No, you cannot say just when you ring the bell. Or we have a timer. No, the timer did you hear a noise? No, you didn't. So you don't know. No, you cannot talk. You didn't hear the noise. Wait. So I don't know which strategy you have, but just be aware that sometimes we are get away with that. So Which do you think is the most important or exciting, the World Cup or the Olympics? If they don't like soccer, they say Olympics. Why? Because I don't like soccer. Anyway, which two teams are likely to face off in the finals? The World Cup takes place every 4 years. What would be the advantage and disadvantage of holding it more frequently or less frequently? They have their opinions. Someone would like to have it every year, right? But someone you're gonna think about the society and about the damage that also host the World Cup we can cause. And those are good conversations. Remember, just advanced students, debate and discussion. Oh, this is a good debate. Look at that. I love this picture because the Brazilian coach is the first one. And I'm sorry, I really like that picture. And of course, if I have this in my class, some of my students would not be happy with that. And we have a higher pitch conversation and debate. International, the ranking, so you can discuss, no, I don't believe Brazil should be in the first place. But if you have Brazilians in your class, they'll be happy with that. So, good debate. For no much soccer fans, I saw this off2class.com website. They have, and I put here 4 banners. You have it. So, what would you do if you were the coach of a football team? How would you want your players to behave? Oh, she's saying, no. They cannot cheating. The other guy's like, I don't care what they're gonna do. We have to win. So you can have those conversations, right? Even if they don't like soccer, if they are not a fan of it. And also, you can invite your church to participate on that. If you have at your church people who really enjoy soccer, they like it, right? You can invite them for tables. You can have Bethany, am I host? I'm not able to finish my presentation. Here.
You're set as a co-host. You should be able
Yes,
to.
got it. You guys
Okay.
can see me? Sorry, thank you. So you can have tables in your one room. Just put 2 people here, 2 people here, 2 people here, and invite those yellow are your church members. People who know the Bible and love the soccer. They can have those conversations and explain what we are expected to do as a kingdom person, right? We are not cheating. But I want to win. I want to win clean. And you have your students that come from a different country and they want to have a debate, but they are not debating with each other. They are debating with your church members, right? People who knows the gospel, people who knows that they can talk about soccer and Jesus in the same time. So your students, they are debating with believers, with people who know Jesus, and you put Jesus inside of that debate and that conversation. They are not just debating between them, right? So it's a good, those 4 folders, I really like it because it's including people who don't like soccer, but they know how we want to cheating in a game. I don't want to be very honest when I'm playing because I want to win, right? Even if I don't like soccer, I understand that. Last one here. Global community means to you. What this phrase means to you? Do you think that sports have the power to bring people together? I love that question. You can have your students debating this with your church members, people who knows, yes, education is important, yes, sport is important, but what really bring solutions and hope is Jesus. We love to have a good education system. We love to have a good sports, can bring good things, but the only one, it's Jesus. So it'd be awesome to put your students to, hey, the excuses is, we are talking with Americans, we are improving our English. It's excuses because our Americans members from our church, they can be there talking about Jesus, right? And our students will feel valued to be able to have those conversations. The last one, problem solving, just for that advanced. How do you feel about Important matches being decided on penalties. Can you think of a better system? The host country always gets to play in the World Cup, no matter how good they are. What do you think of this idea? I hate it. Can you have some solution? Right? Place students in small groups, 3 or 4, not much. Have them discuss and write different ideas on how they would solve the problem. Then they have to share with the whole class. And the last slide here, simple classroom games, zero prep. So the coach says, you can just say, the coach says jump like a goalie. The coach says show a yellow card. You are just practicing your vocab. Or penalty shootout quiz. You can just ask questions, and if they get it right, you score a goal. It's like a small competition that you don't need material because we never dismiss class earlier, right? We don't do that. That's why it's important to have some activities for the end. I think that's what I have for today.
All right, we will